What's happening, everybody? Welcome back. This is Forgo, and as you can see, I have started a new account, and this is going to be a completely free-to-play account. Currently, right now, I am at rank 22, and I have actually unlocked quite a few things so far just in one day of playing. But I did spend quite a few hours playing this, and the reason I wanted to do this is, one, I've been getting tons and tons of requests to do this, to see how well I can do on a free-to-play account. Now, I actually did have a free-to-play account a good while back on my JP account, but I was so overwhelmed with work and YouTube, making videos, that I stopped playing it. But currently I'm in a situation where I have quite a bit of free time, so I decided to go ahead and start another free-to-play account, and I am going to try to stick to this, and I am going to try to continue to play it. I also want to do this to kind of give you a guide on how you should approach this game when you're starting it up. A lot of players, when they look at this UI, they look at everything, it's very overwhelming, right? There's tons of characters, they don't know who they should pick, they don't know who they should go for. And then, of course, you have the gotcha element that's in this game. So a lot of players are always asking me, well, what should I do? You know, should I get this character? Should I go for this character? And the thing is, I don't know what characters you already have. So I'm going to try to offer advice as to, my decision making when it comes to what characters you're choosing as you go along in the game. Now, when you start your new account, the first thing they're going to do is they're going to start you off with a little tutorial playing with Okio Kusanagi right here. And you'll do the little tutorial, and then they're going to give you a choice between three characters that you can pick. You can pick Kyo, you can pick another character named Shizuru, and another character named Iori. It really doesn't matter which character you pick, because you'll find that later on you'll probably never use them again, unfortunately, right? But these are the characters that are going to be the backbone of your game in the very beginning. They're the characters that are going to help you unlock a bunch of stages, so that way you're able to level up your characters. So you'll start off in story mode. And I've already unlocked quite a bit of story mode. And this is very important because you're going to be able to get all these goodies, all these experience bottles, all these attack capsules. These attack capsules are what's going to level up the power of your character. You have attack, defense, and HP capsules. And then these little cards can help level up cards for the next series. I haven't unlocked everything because my Kyo isn't fully maxed out. His cores aren't completely unlocked. You see, you get these little tickets right here. These are really great skip tickets. And now I'm currently at 95. And story mode is going to be the foundation for you whenever you're playing this game, because story mode is what's going to unlock everything for you. So if you go into battle here, you got to reach rank 25 to unlock championship. Championship's a PvP game mode where you can play with other players one-on-one. It's pretty cool whenever it doesn't lag and you don't have desync issues. And then you have league match, right? You have rite of passage, where you have to reach fighter level of 90. And then you also have friendly match, where you can play with your friends one-on-one, which is actually really fun. And then you go into the dungeon, you got the power-up dungeon. Now, this is where the story mode comes into play. Once you get so far in the story mode, you're going to start unlocking these things. And you're going to start off with a level 1 Kyo or Iori or Shizuru, depending on whoever you pick. And the first focus that you should have is just trying to play these stages and trying to unlock them. Now, I've unlocked normal right here. I could probably go a little bit further on gold. Actually, in the very beginning of the game, you don't really want to worry about gold too much. Really, what you want to worry about is these experience bottles. You want to try to get as many of these as you can, because these things are what level your character up. So if when you go to level, these experience bottles level up your character. And the higher level you have, the stronger they are. That's the first thing you should be doing. Trying to get your character leveled up as high as you can. The next thing that you should be worrying about, and once you get that level all the way maxed out, then you want to start working on their cores. So in the core dungeon here, right here, this core dungeon, you want to go in here and you want to start unlocking these cores. Now, these first cores here are going to unlock just the very beginning cores of your character, and that's actually very important, because what that's going to do is it's going to unlock your skills. Whenever these cores here, all these cores unlock certain effects of your characters. And down here at the bottom, you'll see you got 3 cores here. That third core, and this is on every single character, is going to unlock your third skill on your character. It's going to unlock this skill right here. You can see these skills are at level 1, and that's because my cores are still at level 1. You can see the level 1 right here, the level 1 right here. And as we go further, we'll be able to level up. So when I click on this here, I need this item to level it up. and you'll get those items from the core dungeon. So that's the thing that I'm working on right now. I'm actually trying to build up my cores as much as possible. You're going to reach a point in the story mode where you're just going to have problems, right? And by the way, on story mode, I just played on auto. I didn't try manually playing it. Everything I've done is actually on auto. Just let it go, let it go, let it go. And I know that sounds boring. You can manually play it if you want. The first time that I played KOF and I was in the very beginning, I manually played everything because I was having so much fun, right? But I'm a veteran. I've been playing this game since the global release. And it's just kind of boring, honestly, to play with in the very beginning for me, because I'm a veteran, because I've maxed out characters on my other account. But for you, you'll probably want to play it. It's actually really fun whenever you start playing it. And you want to keep unlocking these cores to get to hard. Now, hard mode is actually really difficult for my Keo. He just isn't leveled up enough, and that's why I'm working on his cores. And once his cores get completely unlocked, it's going to be a lot easier. The next thing that you want to be working on is evolving them. Now, you got this little evolve button right here, right? This little evolve button. And you got these little items right here. And whenever you click on, this is the beautiful thing, by the way, about KOF. Anytime you're trying to figure out where you try to farm a certain item, you just click on it, click on where it tells you to go, and start farming for it. It says hard mode, so I'd go into hard right here, add my little striker, and then start playing it to try to get that item. And that way you can evolve your character. And some characters, they're going to be at level 40. You evolve them, you can take them to level 40. You evolve them again, you can take them to level 50, and so on and so on. Some characters you're going to be able to take up to level 50 right away. And then when you evolve them, you can take them up to level 60. And again, the higher the level, the more power they have, the more damage that they're going to do. So that's kind of just like a quick little rundown of how you should be starting off this game. The other thing is you're going to start getting a check-in login, and you're going to be getting a Rochi Chris. Now, Rochi Chris is actually a character that a lot of people don't really use, honestly, that are veterans, but he is useful against certain things in the game. And he's actually, in the very beginning, he's actually a freaking godsend, because Orochi Chris actually has dot damage, and he actually uses burn damage. This is actually very important later on in the game. Whenever you start facing the epic quest, you can also get his card here, which is amazing. But this is actually very important when you start facing the epic quest. So right now I have to clear story 97 chapter 10 before I can open up this epic quest. I will be making a future video about this, but Chris will be, excuse me, my nose itches. Chris will be a godsend for you. I'm telling you, he will be so good. Whenever I was playing on my free-to-play account, my JP account, Chris actually could do the epic quest without doing any kind of buffs. In the epic quest, for those of you that don't know, you can actually play stage over and over and over and build up your buffs. And Chris, without building any buffs, was able to easily fly through episode 1, the first chapter, the second chapter, and the third chapter. Really wild, man. Very, very strong. The next thing that you're going to get once you start unlocking all your story modes is you're going to get a growth mission for Shermie here. Now, Shermie is actually really amazing too for a beginner player, because this character has shock damage, and she actually can kind of stun lock a certain specific boss that's going to help you get some cards. So if you go in the dungeon here and you go into Event Dungeon, this mission right here, this Mecha Guinness, there's going to be 2 different missions that's going to alternate every week. One's going to have this guy named Guinness in there, and the other one's going to have a lady named Shazur, who we all love, by the way, and Guinness, of course. And in these things, you're going to be able to farm, go to craft, you're going to be able to farm for these cards right here, and these are actually really good PvE cards, and these cards right here, which are actually really good PvE cards too. These cards you'd actually put on defensive characters, and these cards you'd actually put on balance and attack type fighters. So that's very important. I mean, they gave you, Shermie is actually really great. Her and Chris are amazing because they're also Fest characters. They're just going to have stronger stats than these other characters, these gold border characters. I mean, you can't see it right now. And every time you do the growth mission, then you're going to be able to get her card. You'll get all these little goodies. You'll get some rubies. And then you'll be able to get some more rubies and so on. The very first day that I played this, I was able to get the 100 rubies also. And this is something else that you're going to want to make sure that you're doing every day. You want to make sure you're doing this so you get these 100 rubies every day. And there's really no excuses. I was able to do this and being completely free to play. I didn't buy anything, just play story mode and auto mode, told you exactly what I was doing. And I was able to unlock, do these daily missions, get the 100 rubies, and get all the tickets that coincide with that. Oh, nice. Give me that 3,000 gold. And again, in the very beginning, I don't worry about gold. The next thing that I would like to point out to you is in the summons. Now, in the summons, currently right now, we have these BS Syndrome characters, and these are the supremes. These are the meta beyond. There's also going to be other characters called SS characters that are also supreme, insanely strong, the strongest characters in the game. But because I'm starting out this game right now, and I have 2,700 rubies, there's no way in hell that I'm going to start pulling for these BS characters. And you shouldn't either. Whenever you first start KOF, the best thing for you to do is just save your rubies. They offer free-to-play options for you to be able to get these other cards or these other characters like so. They offer free-to-play options. You get a free summon every day, one free summon every single day. We'll go ahead and do this, see who we get. Okay, so I got a new Takuma, which is pretty cool. And they offer you a free card every single day. And we'll talk about the cards and the characters here in a second as far as who you should be picking. But they also will give you a free summons every day, this free summons where you can get free tickets every single day. And in the very beginning, this is very, very important because in these tickets, you can get one of these fest characters. And these characters are the cream of the crop. You know, they're going to be characters that are going to have a little purple border around them. And they are just, you know, they have a higher cost. They're just stronger and better characters. And it's all RNG. You don't know who you're going to get. But still, it's a free-to-play option to get these characters. And that's how I am going to try to farm them. I'm not going to be going through the United banner and going through the summons trying to get these characters. I don't know why I clicked out of there. So as far as the characters that you should be picking, let me see if we can find it again. These are the characters that I opted to go for. And you click select pickup, you can click on purple, and then you have all these purple characters right here. You got Orochi, Ignatz, Nameless, and I mean, it's really a matter of opinion as far as which you can get. Now, right now, Baynessa here, this character is actually available in a roulette. So I actually started off a good time. I might get lucky and might actually get her, but I'm opted to go for Nameless. The reason I go for Nameless is because Nameless has one of the longest supers in the game. And for those of you that don't know, supers are animations that these characters have that put them in an invincibility iframe or an iframe where they can't take any damage at all. And in certain game modes, they actually stall a countdown timer. And because of that, it will actually enable your characters to do more damage over time. Nameless has one of the best 3 PGs in the damn game. Not to mention, he's an amazing character with great PG game, which means he's going to be doing his ultimate more often than, say, other characters. He is phenomenal. Seriously. He can also, there's another game mode called Time Attack, where he is an absolute god. This is a character that's going to help you get more rubies over time. So I would highly advise going for Nameless. As far as the blue, I opted to go for Leona. Now, after so many days, there's going to be a summons where I can pick up Leona, but I want to try to get her now because the thing is, you're going to be trying to be leveling up these characters. You need more memories for them. Every time you get a character, you get a little octagon-shaped icon with their face on it, and that's going to be a memory. And those memories can actually level up. You can awaken your character and actually level them up even further. I'll talk more about that in another video, but I mean, you have Yashiro, who isn't very good. Zero's actually good. Mukai, he's okay. Rock, unfortunately, he's not that great. He's okay, decent, mature, decent. Leona, a very good character to have. Brion, Rio, and Goro are all the Fest characters. See that purple border around them. And you want to choose one of those characters. You want to choose one of your Fest characters. But I opted to go for Leona because she really just has insane damage. And she proves to be extremely useful in the future. And really, this other version of Leona is actually very good too. For the red, I opted to go for Karate. Now, there's a lot of great characters here, in all honesty. Kyo and Kay here, and Kyo are actually amazing characters, especially in the very beginning, because they're going to help you in a game mode called Guild Raid. But I opted to go for Karate because, again, he just has an insane 3 PG. And he's just a damn strong character. He's just super freaking strong, and he's really going to help you in certain game modes. The one that's called Elemental Advent, whenever you unlock it, he's just a monstrous character in there. In fact, amongst all of these characters, he has the highest attack stats of all of them. So he's absolutely a godsend. And then you have the green. Now, the green is kind of a funny thing. Whenever you first start this game, you're going to have what's called an infinite banner or an infinite summons. And you can actually summon till you get the best character that you want. Now, Guinness here is actually, in my opinion, Guinness here is actually one of the, probably the best green character in here, bar none. He is absolutely insane. And he's going to help you in a lot of game modes. There's a game mode called Immortal Victor, where he will be the supreme god for it. And he's going to help you get a lot of rubies. However, because I know I can get them from the infinite summons, I opted to go for Elizabeth. Now, Elizabeth or Jeanette would be two amazing, amazing choices. Jeanette is actually great for her leadership. She's very tanky, solid character. But the reason I'm going for Elizabeth is because I'm coming in at a time in this game where I don't have a character like SS Athena. I don't have BS Chrysalid, right? I need a Starlight character. I don't have King. I need a Starlight damage character. And if you're new to this game, you'll find that you need dot damage that's called Starlight, which I'll show you what I'm talking about here. It's on our first skill, I believe. Yeah, that Starlight deals Starlight damage. That damage is what's going to enable you to do a lot of damage against a certain game mode called Guild Raid. And Guild Raid is the most rewarding game mode in this game. So that's why I opted to go for Elizabeth. And you will eventually need a green defensive team. And then for yellow, I opted to go for Iori. You're already getting Chris from the login event. And Iori is actually just, his leadership is just absolutely nuts. Increase attack type fires by attack by 60%. And you'll find early on in Guild Raid that he is an amazing leadership for Guinness, who's actually a attack type fighter too. And whenever you put a certain dot effect in between those two characters, you can do insanely well in the Guild Raid, the free-to-play way. And that's why I'm going for Orochi. There are other characters that are absolutely great for this, but these are the characters that I opted to go for at first. Next thing we'll talk about is the cards. So in the cards, there are a multitude of cards that you can get from here. Now, these cards that are in the purple here, the 5, these are your supers. These are the cards that give you a certain animation on your characters where they are in that invincibility iframe. And I opted to go for Karate's, and I opted to go for Nameless. Again, because of what I just mentioned, the fact that Nameless and Karate's 3 PGs are very, very long, and that just makes them supremely strong. Seriously, in a lot of game modes, they are godly. And then we have these 2 cards called Serenas. And these are set cards. Every character that you'll be able to put 3 cards on them that are called set cards. And then you'll be able to put 2 other cards on them that are your option cards. Option are the green, and the set cards are the yellow. And the set cards, these cards here are absolutely the number one, at least in my opinion, for the most part. These cards are going to give you a total of 34% extra attack. But on top of that, every time you tag these characters in, they're going to give you an additional 15% damage for 10 seconds and gain 10% power. And these are the numero uno when it comes to Guild Raid. Notice I mentioned Guild Raid a whole lot because it is the most rewarding game mode in the game, and that's the game mode that I want to try to start doing well in the very beginning. It's going to take a while. I mean, you need to have your characters leveled up. You need to get a lot of memories, but this is where you should be starting, is right here. And once you get a certain card, right? Once you get a certain card, then you can switch it. You could take it. So for example, I got a type 1 card here. You see type 1, and then there's type 2, then type 3, right? Well, if I get a type 1, then I would take that card out and I would put it in a type 3 card. So I try to find the type 3 card here, which I believe is right here. And then I select, and then I put that card in. Once you get the card you want, switch your cards. So the plan now is to just to keep playing story mode, to start unlocking more of these things. You know, I got to get a character up to level 90 so that way I can unlock championship and unlock rite of passage, which isn't really a big deal in the very beginning, but it is a big deal to unlock all of these things right here. Another thing that I didn't mention is once you start unlocking everything, you're also going to unlock soul quests. And this is a game mode where you can actually get rubies whenever you play these characters in here. And this is actually where you can get souls. Now, currently right now, I'm actually going to be focusing on Keo here. And I'm going to be trying to getting souls for him, so that way I can level him up even more. And I'll talk more about that in another video. I don't want this video to be super long because there's so many details. But this is initially how you want to start the game. You know, you just want to play story mode. You want to go through story mode as much as you can. You want to be trying to get those experience bottles from the power-up dungeon. You want to be trying to get these experience bottles from the power-up dungeon and these core units. So that way you can level up your character and maximize as much as possible and play as much of the content as possible. I know that I've left some things out, but this is just a short little guide to get you started, and I will be making more videos on my free-to-play account. So let me know how y'all doing in the game, and I do stream on Twitch every day at 9 p.m. GMT plus 7 time. The link will be in the description below, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one. Bye.